Thanks very much, Boris, for that opening and also for that announcement of the 3 Mini Holland projects going ahead in Waltham Forest, Enfield and Kingston. I think, it's an indicator of how important this issue is to us all in local government. Looking around the room, seeing many, a number of chief execs, leaders, councillors, leaders of opposition groups, as well as assembly members here this morning. And local government is really committed to encouraging people to walk and cycle more in this fantastic city. Reduce car use, reducing congestion on public transport, reducing pollution, increasing all the health benefits that cycling leads to. But to achieve all that, everyone responsible for the capital's roads must make them as safe as possible to encourage it to happen. In London, cycling accounts for actually only 2% of trips made compared to the 44% made by public transport, 33% by private transport and 21% by foot. But the number of people using cycling is increasing. In my own borough, more people now cycle to work than drive. Tragically, though, as more and more Londoners are getting on their bikes, we've also seen an increase in the number of cyclists killed or seriously injured. And there has been an increase in the overall casualty toll on London's roads for the first time in 7 years, reversing a downward trend. Now, all of those of us in London government have a key role to play in creating safer streets for our cyclists. Well, how do we make it happen? Well, for cycling to become an integral part of the transport network, it needs the right amount of money spent on it. It needs sensible prioritisation, good design, proper infrastructure and targeted communication. Now, something boroughs have been doing towards this is introducing 20-mile-per-hour zones. Now, unsurprisingly, reducing speed plays a big part in reducing accidents, but it's incredible how much. Being hit at 30 miles per hour, there is a 1 in 5 chance of being fatally injured. At 20 miles per hour, that falls to 1 in 40. Now, that's why boroughs such as Islington and Camden have already implemented borough-wide zones or are in the process of implementing them. The City of London Corporation has consulted on a 20-mile-per-hour speed limit to be introduced this summer. But enforcing those limits is still a challenge for boroughs. Cooperation with the police and TfL, using every enforcement means possible, such as cameras and video monitoring, is absolutely vital to making sure 20-mile-per-hour zones reduce the number of cyclists and pedestrians killed on our streets each year. There's also the matter of heavy goods vehicles. London Councils administers the London Lorry Control Scheme that currently issues 50,000 permits each year to haulage companies, allowing them to operate in the capital. Now, evidence shows that HGVs are disproportionately involved in fatalities with cyclists, particularly construction vehicles. Since the tragic deaths of those 6 cyclists over just a few weeks last autumn, London councils and TfL have been working together to see what steps can be taken to reduce the frequency and impact of collisions between cyclists and heavy lorries. Now, in the short term, we've consulted on proposed changes to the scheme to require any heavy goods vehicles over 18 tonnes to have side guards and mirrors to the latest standards. Now, this is going to overcome the obstacle of exemptions to national standards, which apply to several types of construction vehicle. We've just closed our consultation on the 28th of February, but we've received 600 responses, which we've started to analyse thoroughly, so it isn't open to legal challenge, and a decision will be taken in July. Now, this should be a relatively quick win, but it won't tackle the large numbers of construction vehicles that are between 3.5 tonnes and 18 tonnes, such as many tipper and skip lorries. Now, TfL has recently proposed to make a traffic regulation order to ban HGVs without cyclist safety equipment, and we'll be working with TfL to develop this further and bring that in. There's also the issue of better training and education. Now, to enhance road safety, boroughs are providing training and education, such as one-to-one sessions with a cycle instructor, women's bike clubs and bike maintenance sessions. My own borough, Hackney, is participating in the European project STARS, which aims to increase cycling in 33 primary schools and 10 secondaries in the borough. Hackney also provides driver training aimed at HGV and PCV drivers to increase awareness of vulnerable road users, particularly cyclists and pedestrians. Now, in Hackney, every council HGV driver undertakes a safe urban driving course, and this includes them undertaking on-road cycle training themselves. We'll also make this available to any HGV driver who operates through the borough and wants to improve their safety. Finally, there's the need for better infrastructure. All transport infrastructure requires funding, and the local implementation plan funding arrangements are crucial for boroughs to invest in priority areas for cycling that meets their local needs. Speed limits and behaviour change need to go hand in hand with those infrastructure changes. Boroughs are working with TfL on the Better Junctions programme, which will deliver significant changes at the most dangerous junctions. Boroughs are also at the forefront of design and innovation of new cycling infrastructure, such as the Central London Grid and the quiet ways that you'll be hearing more about later on today. So, to get more people cycling, roads need to be safer, and so cycling infrastructure needs to be fully funded and fully integrated into a wider transport network. We also need the means and support to enforce safer, more cycle-friendly roads in the capital. But I'm here today on behalf of the 32 boroughs and the City of London Corporation to say that we remain committed to working with the Mayor, TfL and all the other agencies to make London streets safer for cyclists. Thank you.